So, everybody, let's just go through these.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Brandon. Just give a couple minutes and then we'll get this today's Zoom meeting started.
I did. Oh, sorry. That's good. Mute. Motherfucker. I can't hear you guys.
Please mute your microphone, please, whoever that was.
Just find out what I gotta do.
Okay, I'm going to get started. This is Brandon from Client Creator. Rand's going to join us a little bit later. He's just running a little behind, but no worries. We'll start to go through the system again. So last week we covered some of your account settings, and then we started on the client manager. So I'm going to continue on with the client manager because there is a lot to cover. If you have or a need to watch last week's or the week before's Zoom meetings, when you log into your Client Creator account, you can just go right down to the video library. You will see a video library and the section Zoom that will have all of our previous meetings. So you can watch them at any time. Even this one will be uploaded shortly after it's completed. Sometimes I go fast, or you need to refresh on what I was saying if you weren't exactly sure, and that's no problem. That's what they're there for. So you can go in and watch those and follow up as needed. So to continue on, I'm going to go into our client manager. And last week I went over the summary of the front end of this, how all the sorting works, how to search your clients, how to add with these options. So again, if you missed any of that, or if you need to catch back up on that, just go back to that Zoom recording.
And then just a
If you are joining the system or just logged in, please make sure your microphone's muted so that we don't hear any background noise, if you would. Okay, so to go back into, I'm going to take, these are two different leads, and I'm going to just show you the difference between these two leads and what you want to do. This first lead, which is me, this one came through a lead capture page, and you'll see because the source is listed there, it tells you what lead capture page is in there. The second one, which is Rand, that was manually added. So that means it was either added by importing a client list, or you went and manually added it into the system under the options category. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two, because one of these automatically has all of the campaigns assigned to it, all of the text messages assigned to it, and the one that does not is going to be the manually added. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two. So I'm going to go in and just click on view in the very first lead. And again, if you're just joining us, if you have your microphone, if you could just mute that so that there's no background noise, or, we don't hear anything for the other members. So this went through and I showed you all of the different information on the client ID, the email addresses, the phone number, the social media information. So all of that pulls up automatically in your client manager based upon the information that has been entered into the database. So just from either one cell phone number or one email address, it's able to find the different types of social media information that is out there based on that contact information, additional phone numbers that may have been associated with this client, their employment status. So all of that is on here.
Okay. Bye.
Oh. Rand, I apologize. I muted you by accident. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me find him and see if I can get him unmuted. All right, he'll join back up in a second. That was my bad.
There we go.
Sorry,
Okay.
Ray, go ahead, buddy.
No problem. Okay, you guys, this is done automatically. Every time a lead is dropped into your database here in your client creator database, it automatically looks up any additional phone numbers or email addresses that are, oh, I've got control of this now. It can find for them based on the information that was input. It'll find all their email addresses, all of their phone numbers. So there's really every way possible for you to communicate with them. It also will find any social media that they have, and it will drop their icons right in here, right in the little box down below. Can you point to that, Brandon? Thank you. So in this case, they have Facebook and, oh, I forget what IN is. Help me, what?
Instagram, sure.
Instagram.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
So-
I'm sorry. LinkedIn, I said the wrong one. LinkedIn.
That's what I thought, LinkedIn too, yeah. Okay, so it has two of them. This person, Brandon, he doesn't have a lot of social media, it looks like. So, so that you can communicate that way, you just click on their Facebook page and it'll take you directly to their Facebook page or any of the other social media icons that show up. So that's all done automatically. You don't have to do a thing. We used to require you to click on the lookup button to do it all manually. We just decided, hey, it's going to look up everybody's leads for them. Okay, unless you enter it manually, and Brandon will go over that in just a second. Okay, thanks, Brandon.
Yep, no problem. So yep, he just covered all of that information. So again, you're going to have the basic information for the client up here with the contact information, their client type, the client status, and their home value. Now, on this particular client, there is no address on here, but the next one I'm going to show you will have a home address, and it'll pull up a property value. Again, I went over that last week's session, but I'll go over it again in a minute. The source of the contact was going to be coming in. So this is the lead capture page that they signed in with, the type of homes that they're looking for. And this will have all of the information that they're looking to get, the area of interest, the number of beds, the number of baths. So anything they populated in the lead capture page will be populated here. Also, if you talk to this client or you send them information or you find out a price range, you can come in and you can update any of this information just by simply clicking the edit button in here. So let's say that they're looking for a $500,000 home, a proper type, it could be a single family. You can type that in here. It'll update all of that information, square footage, 4,500, I mean, whatever it may be. And you would just click on save and it'll automatically populate that information into your contact information. So, easy to update, to manage the client, just so you have future information. Okay, so now we're going to continue on with the differences on this right-hand section here. We have note section, task section, send an email, and send a text. So let's say you spoke to this client today and you want to make a note that you spoke to them or that you're going to do something. You can go in and you could put the date of the message in here. So we can just choose today and we can do a test message, follow up. Okay, and that'll click save, and you'll see that it'll automatically add the note into this section here. So that when you come back in here, a week or so, whatever it may be, you can follow up with the notes, make sure that you completed what you needed to do. If you need to modify this message, you can come in and modify it. Maybe you forgot to put something in here, or if you need to delete this message, you can go ahead and do that as well. So the next section is going to be a task. So you have a couple different options for your task types. You maybe have a phone call scheduled with them, maybe you have an appointment to go see them, or it's a to-do list. So let's just say we have an appointment scheduled with them. We can select that here. We can select a day or a time that the appointment's for. Let's say it's Thursday. We can do 1 o'clock or we can do 1:30. Just select the time there. And let's say it's going to last about 45 minutes. So you can choose today's time. I'm not sure who's not muted. Hang on 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So let's say we just do it for a half hour. So you can do 1:30, and then we can just change the time here to 2:30. And we can change that information right there. And the task, let's say meet at the client's home. Okay. So the next option is to notify email. So this is going to notify you via email. If you wanted to notify you via text, you can select that here. And if you want to notify the client, so you're just going to send a notification out to them via email and or text, you can select that here to remind them. And if you had the days that you wanted to remind you, let's say you wanted to remind you 1 day prior to the appointment, you can put that there. If it was further out and you wanted to remind you 2 days out, you would just change that information here. Then you're just basically going to click save. So now if we come down to here and click on tasks, you'll see now that you have an appointment set up for this client. It shows you the date that you have to go out there, the times from 1:30 to 2:30. So you're going to meet at the client's home. So pretty simple, pretty easy. If you need to change this task, you can do the same thing, come and go modify. Let's say you need to change the time or the date. Let's say we're going to do it on the 19th instead. Just come in here and change the date to the 19th and hit save. And it'll now change it from 7:18 to 7:19 from 1:30 to 2:30. If you went out and you completed this, you would just come up here and mark done, and this will remove it from your task manager. So pretty simple to add a task item out here to your clients. Again, this will notify you as well for your any upcoming tasks. And a nice little feature, I'm just going to go back to our main menu. I think I still have this turned on. No, I don't have it turned on for this client. I'm sorry, for my test client, but it would put it on on the message for you. So I can, actually, I think I can do. Let me change that date. Should be. Yeah, it's not on for this client. Typically because this is a test client, we have some of the features turned off, but you would have a to-do list that's going to show up here. Some of you I saw have already had that, but it'll show you what your event is or what the upcoming message is coming up for you. So that will show right on your main menu for you as well. And again, if you want to mark it as done and remove it from your from your to-do list, you can just click on mark done and it'll remove that from your system. But you can set up as many task types and things to do for this client as needed. You would just come back up here and add another task as needed. Pretty simple. The next one is going to be sending an email. So you can send an email directly to this client right from this portal. You would just click on that. You would come up here and it already populates with your name to the email and from who it's going to. And you could type in the subject, test message going out, and you can put today's date on there if you wanted to do that. And then it'll automatically populate your test message. It'll automatically populate your signature that's set up in your account for the message. And then you'll basically just come up here and click send, and it'll automatically send. You get a little notification that the message is sent. Very simple. Same thing with a text message. Text message will automatically populate their cell phone number, which is pulled in from this area right here. And you can type in a text message and send it directly to their phone. Very simple, very easy. You'll notice that this one only allows text messages, can't upload pictures or anything like that, because we like to just send out as text only. That helps to ensure that there's going to be a positive delivery. You start adding images and stuff like that. Sometimes your cell phone carriers can block that type of stuff. So we recommend just using, text messages, just like you would be typing a text message to a friend or family member. The emails, so that's how you can do all of these things here. We covered the notes section and the task sections, but the email section right here is going to show you your history of the emails that are sent. Now, this is a test client, so it's probably going to have a lot, but you'll see that it's got so many information in here. The message that I received on this was Monday morning coffee. You can see that it shows you some details on here. So it's showing you that the subject of the message was Monday morning. This was the time and the date that it was sent. It was delivered. It was opened twice. There was no clicks on it. So if you had a link on there or in the email, there was no link clicked. This one, I must have just opened the email up and read the Monday morning coffee. So this will give you a summary of the message, and the greens are good. The greens mean that they're being delivered. If it was not being delivered, this will come up and say not delivered, and it would say also that this would be red, showing that there is an issue with the mailing. So you'll be able to see a summary of those messages. Typically, we recommend checking this only because you want to make sure your messages are getting delivered. If you're not getting delivery to a certain client, maybe it's a bad email address or an email address that's no longer valid, or they blocked you. You want to try to make sure that you're not continuously sending emails that are being bounced. That goes against your email delivery rating. So that's why it's always good to have, maintain this to make sure that you're sending out good and valid emails and that they are being delivered. Because the more validity you have on the emails, the more the ones that have the success are going to have a higher email rating, and that's always positive. So I always caution who you're going to bring into the CRM and Client Creator. If they're 20-year-old clients that you haven't had any contact with, their email addresses may no longer be valid. And if the system's trying to send out messages when they bounce, unfortunately, that reflects negative, from an email delivery standpoint. So you want to make sure you have some positive delivery. If you want to see more details, more than just a quick summary, you can click on this little view button here, and it'll pull up all of the detailed information all of the message detail, when it was delivered, when it was processed in the system, when it was delivered, when they opened it, has all of the time and date, the IP address. I mean, a lot of this information's not always necessary to the average person, but if you have an email tracking system that you want to use, this information would be useful for you. But that also tell you too, if they continually open up the emails, and they're checking things, if they keep on checking home values or something to that nature, then this would be a positive thing that they're still interested. So that checks out on the email history. Same thing's going to be with the text messages. I'm not sure. We do have messages on here. This will also show you what is two options. You have outgoing and incoming. So if messages were sent out from you, that'll show here. And if any messages were incoming that were sent to you, that'll be here. I'm going to go over the outgoing first. So these are all messages that your system is sending to the client. So this will have direct email message or text messages. Maybe they're part of the text message campaign. Maybe you're sending them other information. All of that will be listed in here. Very similar to the email side of things. It'll tell you whether it's delivered, the date that it was delivered. And again, you can pull up all of the information that is available for this message as well. Again, just gives you a little bit more detail on what is happening with your messages and the deliverability of your messages. So this is the incoming side. I'm sorry, the outgoing side. I'm going to click over to the incoming. These are messages that are being sent to you. This is always good to make sure that you're receiving the text messages that the client is sending to you. So you want to come in here sporadically and just double check, make sure you're getting everything. If you have open communication with them, this will be listed in here. You'll still see whether this is a good message. This one was received on 6/21/2024. It was a test reply. I must have tested the system at some point. This one here is a failed message. So this is something that would need to be checked out. This is one that we sent that was a bad cell phone, but I wanted to prove that the system would show you that a failed message was sent and that it wasn't delivered. So this this is something you need to focus on. If you see any red flags like this, you would definitely need to look into this. If you don't see anything obvious, everything looks good from you when you're checking the phone numbers and the emails, and you have valid information, you can send this to a support technician, a client creator, and they will be able to look into this and see maybe why your messages are not being delivered. Again, your deliverability from text messages is crucial. You want to make sure that you're sending out the valid text message cell phone numbers and not ones that are not in existence. Again, all of that has to do with your rating and you're in control of your rating on the amount of messages that you send. So you want to try to stay as positive as possible. Okay, so that will cover the incoming and outgoing email or text messages. The next section is going to be the email and text campaigns. Now, this is a little bit what's different between somebody who comes in through a lead capture page and somebody who is manually entered. So an email campaign and a text campaign is going to automatically be assigned to somebody that comes through a lead capture page. That's because our team, when they set up the lead capture pages, they assign these to the campaign, to the lead capture pages. So once a client enters in the lead capture page, they're automatically going to be enrolled in an email and a text campaign. If you're manually adding them into the system, they're not automatically going to have a campaign. Because there's no way the system's going to know what type of buyer, what type of seller they are, what campaigns would be most relevant. So you would have to come in and assign them to a campaign. So I'm going to go in, I'm just going to delete these just so I can get them in there and just show you how to add a campaign. Again, typically when there's a lead coming through a lead capture page, they're automatically going to be entered in and you won't have to do this. But for the sake of this training, I want to show you how, because we do have people that bring in clients through the CRM here, and you want to put them on a campaign. So you have two options here. You have the email and the text campaign. We're going to focus on the email campaigns first. add a campaign, pretty simple. Click on add a campaign. It's going to bring up a list of all the email campaigns that are in your system. You'll select the drop down here, and you can select any of these email campaigns that are in your system. So for this one, we're going to select 4-step home buyer, and we're going to click save. So it's going to automatically add that to the campaign message. Sorry, I'll scroll down. It adds a 4-step home buyer to this person, and it will be assigned to them. To see the messages on this campaign and the dates that they're going to be sent on, you can click on this little modify button. It'll bring up all of the messages and all of the campaigns. So on 7/16, the first message is going to go out. It's going to be saying, "Did you get it?" And here's
How
the
much
summary.
money you have
Apologize. Somebody did
Did
not.
you get that? Okay.
I mute them. I mute them as fast as I can. So the messages are going to be put on here. It's going to show you the date, the subject of the message, and the contents of the message. So you can come down here, you can scroll, you can see what they're going to get. So this will give you an idea of the messages that are going to go out. You want to be aware of this so that if you have to provide them anything, or if there's any follow-up that you want to do, you're able to do that. If you want to make a change to any of these messages, it's very, very simple. Let's say you want to come up here and you want to change this message that's going to go out today. Just click on the edit button. It'll bring up the message. You can change the subject here. You can change the content of the message by typing it in here. Whatever you want to do, you can come in and make the modification to this message. And then once you're ready you're done making the changes, you just click your save button and it'll automatically save and update that information in the campaign. Now, you can do that for any of these messages in here. You can come in and change them, but we do recommend going through the email and text campaigns and just making sure that everything's as you need it to be. And then if that way, it'll automatically assign those messages and that you won't have to come in here each time and change the message. Maybe on the 4-step home buyer, you find you're changing this message every once in a while, all the time. Change it on your primary email and text campaign, and then it'll automatically be updated for this client. You also see up here, you can also change the campaign. Let's say you want to change it to another campaign. You want to put them on a different campaign. Maybe it's a buyer prospect campaign. You're going to select on that, hit save, and then it's automatically going to change to that campaign. It's going to update all of your messages. You'll see that information changed. Now it's going to send out a message tomorrow. All the details are changed. All the messages have changed. So it's very easy to change and modify campaigns for client as you see fit.
Now, you guys, I know it's hard to understand all this that's going on. It's a lot of information coming at you. That's why it's really important that you go back through the videos and go through these on your own until it clicks. And it will click, believe me. No matter how foreign it seems right now, it will all of a sudden come into focus and you'll get it. You go, gosh, I get it. I hear this all the time. Okay, I get it. Because it's a lot of information for you. Okay, so I fully understand that. And that's why we give you so much time to get used to the system and do most of it for you right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And that's important to, a lot of this stuff we're already doing for you. Our team is doing. That's part of what you get with Client Creators. Our team is managing it for you, and we're setting up the campaigns. So most of you will not need to do this. However, this just showing you the ability of our system and the features and what you can do. The customization. So as maybe you feel more and more comfortable, you can come in and tweak things here and there. And that's what happens most of the time, as realtors say, I need to change this, or maybe a message that's going out isn't working and it needs to be modified. And they come in and they make that modification. So, that's really what we're trying to go over is all of the features and the ability that this system has. And it's easy. I mean, everything is, again, might be overwhelming to see all of this, but it really is easy and it does, make sense once you get used to it. So if you wanted to come and you're done with this messing around with this person's messages, you just come in here and click to close. You'll see it went from the 4-step home buyer. Now it's on the buyer prospect campaign. Since we just assigned them, there's no message that has been sent, but the first message will send tomorrow, and you'll see that date will populate on there. You can add multiple campaigns to this. Let's say I wanted to come up here and add, I'll pick that 4-step home buyer again on here. You can add 2 campaigns on here to a client. It's not recommended because they're going to receive multiple messages. Sometimes they may receive multiple messages in one day. So unless you're really confident that they need to receive multiple messages and the information in each of the messages is different and that they need it, would not typically recommend having 2 campaigns assigned to a client and just have one. Maybe wait till this one campaign finishes and then assign them to another. But again, if you wanted to, you could assign them to 2 email campaigns in the system. So, but for
Which
now,
of course you don't want to do.
yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. I mean, that's not typical. But yeah, you would just click on the delete and it'll remove that. That campaign. Now, the text message campaign is very similar to the email campaigns. We're just going to click on that text campaign. You'll see there's no current text campaigns. And again, if it's a lead capture page, it's automatically assigned. But because I deleted them just to show you how to operate this, I'm going to show you how to add them in case you ever do. If you import or add a client to your system manually, you need to add your own email and text campaigns. So that's what this would be useful for. Come into the add campaigns, you'll see it's going to be this very similar to the email. This is going to be a shorter list. There's only a couple of text campaigns in the system. You can come in here and choose a buyer free list of homes text campaign and hit save, and that'll automatically add the text campaign to the system. Very similar to the emails. Click on modify. It'll show you the messages that are going out. This is a typically very short text messages, very limited amount of times that it sends it. We don't want to because text messages are so personal, they're probably receiving them almost immediately. We try not to overdo it. It doesn't mean that you can't come in here and add your own messages or change the campaign if you feel the need to, but we don't want to over text them. Typically, we send out a couple of times, and then if they're not receiving or not responding to you, then you don't want to continually send them. I'm sure you and I both seen where we get messages all the time, and it can actually be a negative thing. So we're trying to balance between the two. But again, it shows you the dates and information that's going to be going out. If you wanted to edit those messages, you can come in here and edit the message, the information, the text message, whatever you want to put in here, you can do. And again, very similar to the email campaign. Let's say I wanted to change it to a seller text campaign, hit save, and it'll automatically add the information in here. So
Hey,
very similar. Yep.
Brandon, there's a question, and I'm not sure I understand it.
Sure.
Someone asked, where do they get the home information from?
I'm not sure I understand that one.
I didn't either, but I thought maybe
Yeah.
you would in all your brilliance.
No, sorry.
So,
Um,
okay, you might just give us a little more explanation, Carla. Sorry. Okay.
So, yep. So you can change a campaign on this as well. You can see this seller campaign's got a few more messages in here. All of them have different timelines and different intervals that they send messages. So we have a couple of them there to choose from. But again, we assign those to your lead capture pages automatically.
Okay. Steve's wanted to know, how do we review, excuse me, it just clicked up. How do we review all the information that is to be sent to the customer? Didn't we just go through that? Reviewing
Yeah,
what
I mean,
information?
you can go into the email and the text campaigns and you can review that information. But all of the campaigns as well are also located in your email and text campaign system. You can go through these and read any of the messages. I mean, this is pretty much what I just showed you in a larger form, but it shows you all of the messages and the details. So you can come through and check all of these campaigns. All of your email campaigns are all listed here, and all of your text campaigns are all listed here. You'll notice that these are the same ones that were in that little drop-down menu that appeared. So it all ties in together. But again, I'm going to go over this email and text campaign as well. But if you want to check it out prior to that Zoom meeting, you can do that.
Okay, the person was saying that in one of our text campaigns, the message says, "I received your request for homes. Let me know if you didn't receive them."
Yeah, we do not send out any home list. If somebody's looking for a list of 3-bedroom homes, or I think what this one was, or 3-bedroom homes and Haddon Heights or wherever it is, we do not send that. That would be part of your follow-up process. So the faster you do that, obviously, the better. But once the lead's generated, we kind of take a step back. We don't send them any homes available for sale, anything like that. That would be part of of your follow-up process. The next section here is going to be the contact and social search. Again, this is typically done automatically. So you'll populate the information here. However, if you change some information, and I went over this briefly last week, let's say on this email address, they forgot the T in .net, and you see that and you say, hey, that's not right. That's not the right information. Maybe they just key flubbed it, or maybe they put 2 T's on the end. So maybe you had to come in and you had to modify the email address on here. Well, originally our system's going to look it up, and they're going to look up the original email address that may have had 2 T's or was missing a T. And it's obviously not going to find anything. So let's say you come in here, you make that change, you correct the client data. Then you would come in here and you would do that lookup again. And then it's going to process the information and then hopefully find the additional information and scrub the internet for what it is. So as Rand said, this is done for you automatically. But if you find some data in your client's information that's not right and needs to be adjusted, and you adjust it, then you want to come back in here and perform another lookup, because it may find more information, after you make that change. It might have found some of the social medias from this cell phone number, but it didn't find anything from the email address because that was wrong. If you do the lookup again, it says, hey, it might find, a Twitter account based on that email address, or it might find a X, I guess it's called now, or Instagram. So that's what this would be looked and used for. But again, typically this is automatically done and will automatically be populated. The last section
excuse me, one more thing while we're on it. How do we know the status of a campaign? And if it had, went off too soon. Status of campaign, and if it's complete.
Yep, you'll receive a message saying that you'll receive an email and/or a text that says, campaign for Brandon Christie has ended. Please log in to update their campaign. You'll see that also here in this last message sent on. It'll tell you the last message sent on, and it'll also tell you campaign has ended. So you'll be able to see that right there within the details of the campaign.
And there'll be a list of all of the text or email campaigns that went out for you to know where they're at based on the date.
Okay. Yep, absolutely. The last section here is the search tags. These are search tags for the main home screen. And I'll go back in a second and show you that. But if you find information, let's say you want to group people together or add information for finding people, maybe they're 4-bedroom homes, maybe they have children. This might be for something where you get a home, or you have a home available for sale that is in a great school district, and you want to go in and you want to find everybody that has children. You can go into your search tags, you can add a search tag, and that way the system will automatically find all of those people that you put these search tags in there. Then you could select them all, and then you could send them a message that says, hey, I just got this house on the market. It's in an incredible school district. take a look at it, and it'll send an email and a text out to everybody who has children and is looking for a home in a school district.
Can you
They-
give them a sample, show them exactly how to do that?
Sure, absolutely. So so this one here, we'll just do children. So I would go back to my client manager. I don't have much here, but if you type in the search clients right up here, you'll be able to see, oh, my appointment did show up. See, that's the appointment I put up there. So yeah, when you add an appointment, it'll automatically come up to your summary bar. So let's say you want to come down, you want to search clients, it's children. You could put in here children, and it'll automatically search. Now, I only have one in here. Obviously, it's the one client on here. But if you wanted to if you had multiple ones in here, you could select them all, and you could send them messages. You can, send them a text, send them an email. Very similar to how you did it individually. Just open this up, and it'll send all of the messages out to your clients. So it's a real easy way to sort your clients. Let's say golfer. Again, I picked on me, but it would bring up anybody who's a golfer. So maybe you have a golf course home, or one that's in a golf course community, and you want to send it out, or whatever it may be. You
Or
could
a
select
high-rise
all of-
condo, or
Yeah, absolutely.
For Florida.
Luxury home, whatever it may be. Florida's a big golfer area too. I go down there all the time to golf.
yeah, it is.
So yeah, you can send that information out. So it's an easy way to sort your clients, so that you can access them later for different things. And again, it's similar to a lot of people do like the hashtags and stuff like that. But this just helps you to sort your clients and to find them a little bit easier. And again, gives you a little bit more customization so that you can track them, for the ability to communicate with them a little bit faster. Because again, there's always instances where you need to send something out to clients, and it's easy to find multiple ones and be able to send them an instant message, or again, an instant text message. So just the ability to do that is very nice. So I did say I was going to go over and just show you a little bit of the differences on this. Now I did cover some of them between a manually added and a not manually added, but you could come in here. This is the one I manually put in here. And again, manually means I either imported it or I typed it through the client ad. They did not come through a lead capture page. So we come in here and view. And again, you'll see it's automatically going to pull the information up. Rand opted out. He doesn't want to receive any information from me. So it will, again, you'll see down here where it doesn't have email or text campaigns assigned. So you can assign the campaigns directly for your clients, right here. So it's just an easy way to do that. So if you did manually add somebody in here and you want to add them to an email text campaign, I would recommend coming in here and doing that. The other thing I wanted to show you, and I think I covered it last week, but the client that I tested recently just now did not have an address, but this one does have the property address. And I want to show you that this pops up. This is a very useful feature. It'll pull up the home information for the client, so you photograph of it, the address of it, market value, bedrooms, house size of it. So all of that information is populated for you. So it gives you a quick review of the client's address. Maybe they're looking to sell, and allow you to look at it a little bit more in detail. So that when you follow up with them, you can give them a little bit more information. So this information is, very valuable. And again, I know it's a lot, and there's a lot of areas into this, but we broke it out so that it kind of makes sense and the way that the process works. Highlighted some of the most useful features by the client type, the client status, and the primary contact information. And it makes it real easy. Most things that are being used here are the notes, the tasks, send email and send text. They're the most important. So you can easily access that information. Now, one other thing, I'm going to try to do this quick. I know I'm always running over, I feel like. On your main list, we covered where you can send multiple messages to people. So if I selected both of these clients, okay, I can send them an email, I can send them a text message, I can change their status. Let's say I wanted to change them to, you're working on them. We can change them to working by selecting both of those. If I wanted to change the client type, I can also do that here. So if you select both of these at the same time, you can do a couple different features here quickly. Again, the majority of the time you're going to select or search clients, you're going to select them all, and you're going to email or text them. And again, you can do that pretty quickly here. Sometimes people will come here and they'll just select one person instead of going into the details to send them a client. They'll just select it and send them an email. It's an easy way to email somebody directly, without too many more clicks. But it does the same function as going in and sending them an email, in the details screen. So just a couple quick things that you can do within the client list. I think I covered that last week, but I wanted to, cover that one more time. Okay, Rand, I think I covered, I covered
You did.
everything for this week.
That's perfect for today. We went a little over, but if you didn't get your question asked, be sure to send the question into the customer service department or give them a call. The best way to communicate with them is via email messages.
Yep, absolutely.
And yeah, next week, I think we're going to do a Q&A.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you all very much. We'll see you next week at the same time. Have a great day.